Paradoxical opening and central thesis. In the vast expanse of existence where the symphony of life plays out its intricate melodies, there lies a truth, simple yet profound, that not everyone is ready to embrace. It is a truth that whispers rather than shouts, a truth that Osho, among others, warned us might remain unheard by many, not because it is hidden, but because it is veiled in the silence of being. This truth, dear seeker, is that silence is the portal to consciousness. We live in a world intoxicated with noise, the cacophony of ambitions, the relentless clatter of thoughts, the unyielding pursuit of more. These are the anthems of our times. In this pursuit, we often find ourselves lost, wandering through the labyrinth of our minds, seeking answers in places where only questions thrive. Yet the irony lies in the fact that the silence, often shunned, holds the key to our deepest understanding. Imagine for a moment a lake at dawn. The surface, still as a whisper, reflects the sky with such clarity that the line between water and air blurs. This is the nature of silence. It reflects the truth of our being without distortion. But like the lake, it requires stillness to reveal its clarity. In the hustle of our thoughts, we stir the waters, and in the ripples, we see fragmented images of our reality. To seek silence is to seek that which does not seek anything in return. It is to rest in the embrace of the present moment, where the past and future dissolve into the now. This is not a silence of mere absence, but a silence brimming with presence, a silence that listens, not with the ears, but with the heart. Many embark on the journey of self-discovery armed with techniques and tools, hoping to decipher the mysteries of others and themselves. Yet these are but superficial attempts that often lead to more confusion. The mind, in its restless dance, distorts reality, projecting its fears and desires onto the canvas of our lives. It is in silence that we learn to read, not with our eyes but with our soul, perceiving the unspoken truths that reside in the spaces between words. This silence, however, is not easily embraced. It demands a courage that few are willing to muster, a courage to face the self without the armor of noise. It is a rebellion against the conditioned mind, a stepping away from the comfort of familiar chaos into the unknown tranquility of being. In this rebellion, there is freedom. As we stand on the threshold of silence, we are invited to let go of our judgments, to release the need to label, to categorize, to control. Silence asks us to trust, to surrender to the flow of life without resistance, to find peace not in answers, but in the acceptance of the mystery. There is a profound intelligence in silence, an intelligence that transcends the linearity of thought. It is the language of the universe, spoken in the soft hues of dawn, in the gentle caress of the breeze, in the quiet harmony of a sleeping forest. This intelligence does not shout for attention. It patiently waits for those willing to listen beyond the noise. In this space of silence, love finds its true form, unburdened by expectations and conditions. It is a love that sees without judgment, that embraces without holding, that understands without needing to comprehend. It is the essence of our being, revealed in the quietude of a heart at peace. The journey into silence is not a path to be walked with haste. It requires patience, a willingness to sit with oneself, to observe the dance of thoughts without becoming ensnared in their web. It is a journey of gentle unfolding, where each layer of noise peeled away reveals the beauty of our essence. As a contemporary spiritual guide, I invite you to explore this silence, to delve into the depths of your consciousness, where the mind finds rest and the spirit awakens. Let us ponder together the nature of this silence, not as an absence, but as a presence that connects us to the fabric of existence. If these words resonate with you, if they stir a quiet knowing within, I invite you to share where you are listening from, to breathe with me in this moment of shared silence. Together, let us embark on this journey of awareness and peace. Block 2. The illusion of the mind and conditioning. As we journey deeper into the realm of silence, we must confront the ever-present illusion spun by the mind, a web of thoughts, beliefs, and judgments that ensnare us in a perpetual cycle of noise. The mind, in its restless endeavor, becomes both the architect and the prison of our reality, crafting an intricate tapestry of stories and identities that often obscure the truth of who we are. The mind is a master of deception, weaving narratives that appear solid and real, yet upon closer inspection are as ephemeral as the morning mist. It clings to the familiar, the comfortable, and the predictable, resisting the change that silence inevitably brings. In this resistance, the mind conjures anxiety and fear, illusions that prevent us from stepping into the stillness that beckons us to awaken. Consider the mind as a river, flowing endlessly, carrying with it the debris of past experiences, future anticipations, and the myriad thoughts that clutter our consciousness. Just as a river churns and froths, obscuring the clarity of its depths, so too does the mind distort our perception with its relentless chatter. In this turbulent flow, we lose sight of the essence of our being, mistaking the noise for reality. The noise of the mind is not merely an external phenomenon, but an internal conditioning that has been ingrained in us from birth. Society, with its expectations and norms, has taught us to value the intellect over intuition, to seek validation in the external rather than in the quietude of our hearts. We have been conditioned to believe that silence is emptiness, a void to be filled with the ceaseless activity of doing, achieving, and becoming. Yet within this conditioning lies the seed of our discontent, a discontent that manifests as a perpetual search for meaning outside of ourselves. We seek fulfillment in the transient and the fleeting, unaware that true contentment resides in the stillness we so often overlook. The mind, in its conditioned state, is like a mirror covered in dust, reflecting a distorted image of our true nature. It is only in the silence, when we allow the dust to settle, that the mirror reveals the clarity of our essence. Imagine standing before a vast ocean, where the waves crash with thunderous force upon the shore. The noise is deafening, the power overwhelming, and yet beneath this tumultuous surface lies a profound calmness. To reach this calm, we must be willing to dive beneath the waves, to move beyond the surface noise of the mind, and into the depths of our consciousness where silence reigns supreme. This journey requires a willingness to question the narratives we have inherited, to challenge the beliefs that bind us to a limited understanding of ourselves and the world. It is a journey of unlearning, where we strip away the layers of conditioning to reveal the truth that lies beneath. This truth is not something to be discovered through the intellect, but something to be experienced in the silence of being. The mind, in its illusion, separates us from the world and from each other. It creates a sense of duality where there is none, a separation between the observer and the observed, the seeker and the sought. In this separation, we experience loneliness, fear, and a longing for connection. Yet in the silence, we discover that this separation is but an illusion, a veil that dissolves when we embrace the unity of existence. To embrace silence is to step beyond the confines of the conditioned mind and into a space of infinite possibilities. It is to awaken to a deeper intelligence that transcends the limitations of thought, an intelligence that perceives not through the eyes but through the heart. In this space, we find the courage to be vulnerable, to let go of the masks we wear, and to step into the authenticity of our being. The silence invites us to be present with what is, to witness the play of thoughts without becoming entangled in their drama. It is a practice of mindfulness, where we observe the mind's chatter as a passing cloud, acknowledging its presence without succumbing to its allure. In this practice, we cultivate a space of inner stillness where the noise of the mind is gently quieted, allowing the whispers of the soul to be heard. As we continue this exploration, let us remember that silence is not a destination, but a journey that requires patience, compassion, and a willingness to surrender to the unknown. It is a journey that invites us to trust in the unfolding of life, to embrace the mystery without the need for certainty or control. In this moment, I invite you to pause, to take a deep breath, and to feel the presence of silence within you. Allow yourself to rest in this space, free from the constraints of the conditioned mind, and to experience the peace that arises when we let go of the need to understand and simply be. If this reflection resonates with your heart, I encourage you to subscribe and stay with us in this sanctuary of consciousness and peace. Together, let us walk this path of silence, and in doing so, uncover the profound truth that lies at the heart of our being. Block 3. The path of silence and presence. As we venture further along the path of silence, we find ourselves at the threshold of a profound transformation, a shift from the clamor of the mind to the serene embrace of presence. This is the journey of awakening, where silence becomes not merely an absence of sound, but the very ground of our being, a space where consciousness unfolds in its purest form. Imagine, if you will, a still forest at dawn. The air is crisp, the world awash in a gentle light, and there is a palpable sense of life in the quietude. Each leaf, each blade of grass, stands in silent testimony to the presence that permeates all things. This is the essence of silence, a living presence that speaks in the language of the soul, a presence that calls us to return home to ourselves. In this sacred space, we begin to perceive the world not through the fragmented lens of the mind, but with the wholeness of our being. We shift from doing to being, from the relentless pursuit of external goals to the simple yet profound act of presence. Here in the cradle of silence, we find a refuge from the noise of our thoughts, a sanctuary where we are free to simply be. The path of silence is a path of surrender. It requires us to relinquish the control we cling to trust in the natural unfolding of life without the need to manipulate or interfere. This surrender is not a passive resignation, but an active engagement with the present moment, a willingness to embrace whatever arises with openness and grace. In silence, we come to realize that life is not something to be conquered or mastered, but something to be experienced and cherished. The beauty of a sunset, the laughter of a child, the gentle touch of a loved one, these are the moments that enrich our lives, moments that often go unnoticed in the din of our daily existence. Silence invites us to slow down, to savor the richness of these experiences, to be fully present with what is. This presence is not confined to moments of stillness. It permeates every aspect of our lives. It is the awareness that accompanies us as we go about our daily activities, a mindfulness that transforms the mundane into the sacred. Whether we are washing dishes, walking in nature, or engaging in conversation, we are invited to bring the quality of presence to each moment, to infuse our actions with the grace of awareness. The path of silence is also a path of deep listening, a listening that goes beyond the words spoken, to the essence of what is being communicated. It is the ability to hear not just with our ears, but with our hearts, to perceive the unspoken truths that lie beneath the surface of our interactions. In this listening, we connect with others on a profound level, transcending the barriers of ego and personality to touch the shared essence of our humanity. As we deepen our practice of silence, we begin to notice a shift in our perception. The world appears more vibrant, more alive, as if we are seeing it for the first time. Colors seem more vivid, sounds more harmonious, and there is a sense of interconnectedness that pervades all things. This is the true gift of silence, a reawakening to the wonder and mystery of life, a recognition of the sacred in the everyday. Yet this journey is not without its challenges. The mind, accustomed to its habitual patterns, may resist the invitation to silence, clinging to its familiar narratives and fears. It is here that patience and compassion become our allies, guiding us gently back to the present moment each time we stray. We learn to welcome the mind's chatter with kindness, to observe its movements without becoming entangled in its web. As we cultivate this practice, we discover that silence is not a destination, but an ongoing exploration, a dance between the noise and the quiet, the known and the unknown. It is a journey that invites us to continuously return to the present, to rest in the awareness that is always here, regardless of the circumstances of our lives. In the heart of silence, we find a profound intelligence, a wisdom that transcends the limitations of thought and logic. This intelligence is not something to be acquired. It is our inherent nature, revealed in the stillness of being. It is the source of creativity, insight, and inspiration, a wellspring from which we draw the courage to live authentically and fully. As we stand together in this space of silence, I invite you to consider the possibility of deepening your practice, of committing to this journey of presence and peace. If this reflection has resonated with you, if it has stirred a knowing within your heart, I encourage you to subscribe and remain with us in this shared sanctuary of consciousness. Together, let us explore the boundless realms of silence and discover the truth of our being. In this journey of silence, we find not only a path to inner peace, but a bridge to the world around us. We come to see that we are not separate from the trees, the rivers, the stars, that we are threads in the vast tapestry of existence, each of us a unique expression of the same universal consciousness. In this recognition, we experience a profound unity, a sense of belonging that transcends the confines of the individual self. The silence invites us to live from this place of unity, to act with compassion and love, to see ourselves in others and others in ourselves. It is an invitation to live consciously, to engage with the world not as isolated beings, but as interconnected parts of a greater whole. This is the path of silence, a path that leads us home to ourselves and to the heart of the universe. As we continue this exploration, let us carry the silence with us, not as an absence of noise, but as a presence that infuses our lives with meaning and joy. Let us walk this path together, hand in hand, heart to heart, as we uncover the profound truth that lies within, the truth that we are, at our core, the silence that dreams the world into being. Block 4. Surrender and trust in the flow. In the gentle embrace of silence, we find ourselves standing at the precipice of surrender, a gateway that beckons us to release our grip on the illusion of control and to trust in the natural flow of life. This surrender is not a capitulation to fate or circumstance, but a conscious choice to align ourselves with the rhythm of the universe, to dance in harmony with the unfolding of existence. Surrender, in its truest sense, is an act of profound courage. It requires us to lay down the armor of our conditioned minds, to step beyond the boundaries of fear and doubt, and to enter the spaciousness of the unknown. This is the courage to let go of the stories we tell ourselves, to release the need to define and confine our experiences within the narrow confines of certainty. Consider the river as it winds its way to the sea. It does not resist the bends and curves of its path. It flows with grace, trusting in the journey that carries it forward. In its surrender, the river finds its strength, not in rigidity, but in its ability to adapt and embrace the ever-changing course of its life. This is the essence of surrender, to flow with life rather than against it, to trust in the wisdom that guides us even when the way is unclear. In silence, we are invited to surrender our need for control, to relinquish the illusions of the mind that bind us to a false sense of security. This is not an easy task, for the mind clings tenaciously to its familiar patterns and beliefs, convinced that it knows what is best. Yet in this clinging, we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of resistance and suffering, unable to see the beauty and possibilities that lie beyond our limited perspective. To surrender is to open ourselves to the vastness of being, to allow the river of life to carry us where it will, trusting that it will lead us to the shores of our deepest fulfillment. It is to have faith in the process of life, to believe that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, there is an underlying order and purpose that guides us toward our highest good. This trust in the flow of life is not blind faith, but a recognition of the interconnectedness of all things. Just as the river is part of a larger ecosystem, so too are we part of a greater whole, woven into the fabric of the universe. In silence, we come to see that our individual journeys are not isolated paths, but threads in a tapestry that is constantly being woven and rewoven with each moment. The path of surrender is a journey of letting go, a shedding of the layers of ego that obscure the clarity of our being. It is the courage to stand naked before the truth of who we are, to embrace our vulnerabilities and imperfections, and to trust that we are enough as we are. In this letting go, we find liberation from the constraints of the mind, a freedom that allows us to move with ease and grace through the world. As we surrender to the flow of life, we begin to experience a profound sense of peace, a peace that arises not from the absence of challenges, but from the acceptance of them. We come to understand that life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, a dance of light and shadow that invites us to participate with an open heart. This surrender is an invitation to live with presence and intention, to engage with the world from a place of authenticity and love. It is a call to trust in the intuitive wisdom that resides within us, to listen to the whispers of our soul that guide us toward our true purpose. In this listening, we find the courage to follow the path that is uniquely ours, to live a life that is aligned with our deepest values and aspirations. In the heart of surrender, we discover the power of vulnerability, a power that lies not in the facade of invincibility, but in the willingness to be seen and known for who we truly are. It is the courage to open our hearts to the world, to love without conditions and to receive love in return. In this vulnerability, we find the strength to connect with others in a way that transcends the superficial and touches the essence of our shared humanity. The journey of surrender is not a solitary one. It is a path that we walk together, hand in hand, heart to heart. As we trust in the flow of life, we invite others to join us in the dance, to experience the joy and freedom that comes from living in alignment with the truth of our being. In this shared journey, we create a space of belonging and connection, a sanctuary where all are welcome and accepted. As we stand together in this space of surrender, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the areas of your life where you may be holding on too tightly, where the fear of letting go is preventing you from experiencing the fullness of life. Consider what it might feel like to release the need for control, to trust in the flow of life and to surrender to the wisdom that guides you. If this reflection has resonated with you, if it has touched a chord within your heart, I encourage you to share this journey with others who may be seeking the same peace and understanding. Let us continue to explore the path of silence and surrender, to discover the beauty and truth that lies within us all. In this moment, as we breathe together in the presence of silence, let us embrace the courage to surrender, to trust in the flow of life, and to live from the heart of our being. Together, let us walk this path of peace and presence, and in doing so, uncover the profound truth that lies at the core of our existence, the truth that we are, in essence, love. Block 5. The union and the disappearance of the self. In the sacred silence of our journey, we arrive at a profound realization, the union of all things and the mysterious disappearance of the individual self. This is not a loss, but a revelation, a transcendence of the ego that allows us to glimpse the interconnectedness of all existence. Here, in the quietude of being, we encounter the truth that the seeker and the sought are one and the same, united in an eternal dance of presence. Imagine a flame flickering in the gentle embrace of a breeze. The flame does not resist the wind. It dances with it, merging its warmth and light with the air that surrounds it. This dance is a metaphor for our journey into unity, where the boundaries that once defined us begin to dissolve, revealing the oneness that lies beneath the surface of individuality. In this union, we find not the obliteration of the self, but its expansion into something far greater, a recognition that we are part of a vast, interconnected whole. The path to this union is one of surrender and acceptance, a journey that requires us to release the illusion of separation that the mind so fervently clings to. The ego, with its desires and fears, seeks to maintain its identity by distinguishing itself from others, by erecting barriers that divide and isolate. Yet, in the silence, these barriers begin to crumble, and we witness the emergence of a deeper truth, that we are not isolated islands, but waves in the ocean of existence. The disappearance of the self is not an annihilation, but a transformation, a shedding of the layers of identity that obscure the essence of who we truly are. It is a journey inward, to the heart of our being, where we discover that our true nature is not defined by the roles we play or the masks we wear, but by the timeless presence that animates all life. In this presence, we find the courage to let go of the stories that bind us, to step into the freedom of being without the constraints of ego. As we embrace this union, we begin to perceive the world with new eyes. We see the interconnectedness of all things, the intricate web of relationships that bind us to each other and to the earth. The trees, the rivers, the stars. They are not separate entities but expressions of the same consciousness that flows through us. In this recognition, we find a profound sense of belonging, a homecoming to the heart of creation. In the silence, we come to understand that love is the fabric of this union, the force that binds us together in a tapestry of connection and compassion. This love is not limited by the confines of personal relationships. It is a universal love that transcends the boundaries of self and other, a love that sees the divine in every being. It is the love that arises when we see ourselves in the eyes of another, when we recognize that their joy and suffering are our own. This union invites us to live from the heart, to act with kindness and empathy, to engage with the world from a place of openness and vulnerability. It calls us to transcend the dualities of right and wrong, success and failure, and to embrace the wholeness of our experience. In this embrace, we find the courage to be authentic, to live in alignment with our deepest values, and to honor the truth of our being. The disappearance of the self is not the end of our journey, but the beginning of a new way of being, a way that honors the unity of all life and the beauty of our shared existence. It is a journey that invites us to participate in the world with awareness and intention, to contribute our unique gifts to the collective tapestry of humanity. In this space of union, we discover the power of presence, the ability to be fully engaged with life, to experience each moment as a sacred offering. This presence is not a passive state, but an active engagement with the world, a willingness to meet each experience with curiosity and wonder. It is the practice of being fully awake to the beauty and mystery of life, to the miracles that unfold in the silence of our hearts. As we stand together in this space of unity, I invite you to pause and reflect on the ways in which you experience connection in your life. Consider the relationships that nourish and sustain you, the moments of joy and love that remind you of your place in the world. Allow yourself to be present with the fullness of these experiences, to honor the connections that weave the fabric of your life. If this reflection has touched a chord within you, if it has resonated with the truth of your being, I encourage you to share this journey with others who may be seeking the same understanding. Let us continue to explore the path of union and presence, to uncover the beauty and truth that lies within us all. In this moment, as we breathe together in the presence of silence, let us embrace the courage to dissolve the boundaries of the self, to trust in the unity of all things, and to live from the heart of our being. Together, let us walk this path of love and presence, and in doing so, uncover the profound truth that lies at the core of our existence, the truth that we are, in essence, one. Block 6. Transcendental Conclusion and Invitation to Communion. As we stand at the culmination of our journey, enveloped in the sacred silence that has guided us, we find ourselves gazing into the depths of truth and unity. Here, at the intersection of silence and consciousness, lies the essence of our being, a presence that transcends the limitations of the mind and reveals the interconnectedness of all life. This is a space where the whispers of the universe speak to the heart, inviting us into a communion that transcends time and space. In this final reflection, we are called to embrace the profound harmony that emerges from the union of silence and consciousness. It is a harmony that resonates not only within our souls, but also with the greater symphony of existence. This harmony is the song of the universe, a melody that invites us to participate in the dance of life with grace and awareness. The journey we have undertaken is not merely a personal one, but a collective awakening, a reminder that we are all threads in the tapestry of creation, each contributing to the beauty of the whole. In this realization, we find the courage to live authentically, to express our unique gifts, and to honor the diversity that enriches our shared experience. Silence, as we have discovered, is not an absence, but a deep presence, a presence that empowers us to see the world through the lens of compassion and understanding. As we align ourselves with this presence, we cultivate a space of peace and acceptance, where the noise of judgment and fear is gently quieted. In this space, we are free to be who we truly are, to embrace the wholeness of our being without reservation. The invitation of silence is a call to communion, a call to connect with others from the heart, to engage with the world in a way that honors the sacredness of all life. It is an invitation to listen deeply, to speak with intention, and to act with integrity. In this communion, we find the strength to transcend the barriers that divide us, to create a world where love and understanding prevail. As we step into the world from this space of silence, We carry with us the wisdom and insights that have emerged from our journey. We are reminded that every moment is an opportunity to practice presence, to infuse our lives with the grace of awareness. Whether we are alone in the stillness of meditation or engaged in the busyness of daily life, we have the power to choose how we respond, to choose love over fear, understanding over judgment, and connection over separation. The journey of silence is a lifelong exploration, a path that invites us to continuously deepen our understanding and to expand our capacity for love and compassion. It is a journey that requires us to remain open to the unfolding of life, to trust in the wisdom that guides us, and to embrace the mystery with a sense of wonder and awe. In this moment of reflection, I invite you to consider the impact of silence in your own life. Reflect on the moments when silence has offered you clarity, when it has revealed truths that words could not express. Allow yourself to be present with the beauty of these experiences, to honor the gifts that silence has bestowed upon you. If this journey has resonated with you, if it has touched your heart and inspired a deeper understanding, I encourage you to share this exploration with others. In sharing, we create a ripple of awareness that extends beyond ourselves, touching the lives of those around us and contributing to the collective awakening of humanity. As we conclude this reflection, let us take a moment to breathe together in the presence of silence, to feel the unity that connects us all. In this shared space, we find the courage to live authentically, to express our truth, and to embrace the journey of life with open hearts. Together, let us walk this path of silence and presence, and in doing so, uncover the profound truth that lies at the core of our existence, the truth that we are, in essence, love. If this reflection has spoken to you, I invite you to share this video with those who are still seeking in the noise what only silence can reveal. The universe speaks through those who choose to listen.